This video concerns how to verify if you have a bad distributor cap and how to change it out if you do. First thing I always advise before doing any work on the vehicle is to buy the repair manual, Haynes or Chilton's repair manual. They're usually about $30 or so, and just read the procedure before you do that. Now, this is the distributor cap here. We can see our spark plug wires feeding into it. In the case of this vehicle, it is a 1998 Honda Odyssey. So it's a 4-cylinder vehicle. So there's 4 spark plug wires feeding into that distributor cap. Now, the one thing you want to make sure you do here is don't get those spark plug wires mixed up as to their position on the distributor cap, because it's surprising how many different ways you could move them around before getting them back into the proper position. So if you look on your spark plug wires and you don't see a marking on them of 1, 2, 3, 4, then take some masking tape and just temporarily put some tape on each wire and mark the plug wire. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is you have to mark on the distributor cap the same number too. So you're going to mark the plug wire and you're going to mark the port on the distributor cap. So in this case, I don't know if you can see this or not, these wires are actually marked. So if I turn this wire around, right by my thumb there, there's a 4. This is number 3 up here, number 2, and obviously 1. That's the only one left. So what I've done is I've taken a little bit of my son's modeling paint and I've marked a 3 on the distributor cap there, because that's wire number 3 connecting into port number 3. And I've just marked a couple of ports, and I can tell here's the new distributor, the replacement distributor cap that's going to go on. And if you can see, I can tell by the alignment of it, like there's a tab here on the existing distributor cap, and if I align that new one the same way, there's the tab, so I know that it's number 3 right above it. So I've got it marked on the replacement distributor cap. So once I get this one off, I'll have this one on, and it'll already be marked 1, 2, 3, 4, so I won't have the wires and the ports on the distributor cap mixed up. Okay, so the way I discovered that I had a bad distributor cap was I was visiting a friend's place about a week or so ago, and it was a windy, rainy day, and I was there for the afternoon, and when I went to leave, my vehicle would turn over, but it wouldn't actually start. So what I discovered was the distributor cap had gotten wet, and this vehicle is running fine even when I did it. But the day that it happened, when it was raining and windy all day, I could actually see a spark coming from the tip of the distributor cap right there. And what I had done at the time was I separated these wires when the engine was off. Obviously it wasn't sticking my hands in there when it was running, but I shut the vehicle down, and then I just... Okay, so I took the air filter hose off here just to give a little bit of extra room, moved that back, and the repair manual actually mentions to do that because these wires down here wouldn't come off otherwise. So in this case, this vehicle is a 98 Honda Odyssey. There's just 3 nuts to loosen, 7mm nuts. I just turn that there. see that turning, so there's a nut here, one over on this side, and one down here. So we'll take those off, and then all you do is basically just grab the wire by the boot itself, not the wire but the boot, and just kind of twist it back and forth a bit, and just kind of gently tug that off because you don't want to damage your wires. So there's one of them. Set that aside. I'll just take the other 4 off here. Then I'll remove my 3 nuts and pop that distributor cap off. Okay, so just a note here, the bottom screw on this distributor cap is kind of difficult to get at, and what I had to do was use a socket and that little black screwdriver handle for it. You can see it there. Got my fingers in place, and then I used an extension on the socket and then onto the screwdriver. But you feel around in there, you'll be able to find it. I'm taking that out now. Okay, so the distributor cap is off. There's the rotor. That's the part that spins. If you can see, that'll move. It'll only move a little bit right now, obviously, but when the engine is turning, that will spin and distribute the spark as it turns around within the distributor cap to the different spark plugs. And there is the old distributor cap. So now I'll pop the new one on there. Okay, so the new distributor cap is on. I'm just going to connect the wires back up. This spark plug wire here is number 3 on the wire. Down here it's marked. Like I said before, if it wasn't marked there, I would have tagged it with masking tape or something and taken it off later. So then you just put it onto the one I designated number 3 on the distributor cap. You just take that wire, pop it on there kind of gently, move that boot around, back and forth. That's on there. Making sure not to put any real tension on the wire itself, just on the boot, and that's on. And I'll just do the rest. Okay, so there's the replacement distributor cap. I'm going to take the old one and just put it in the back of my van, because this replacement cap is actually off of a parts vehicle I have. So I'm not 100% sure that it's okay too, but I know that that vehicle was running when before I retired it. So now I'm going to start this up and see if it runs. Okay, so there's been a slight change in my plan here. I was going to use a used distributor cap from a parts vehicle that I have, and I put that on, and it was really running bad. So in the year or so that it sat on the parts vehicle, maybe it might have been fine when I was finished using it, but for whatever reason, whether when I took it off, it might have been worn before. And anyway, we've changed over, and the new plan is I went and got a new distributor cap. I figured for $25 it's not really worth messing around with it. Another possibility is that the button within the distributor cap that I got my finger on there right now, that's the continuation of your electrical circuit. And if you can see that little button as I press it there, that button has a little spring underneath of it, and it goes and it hits here on the rotor, and as this spins around, the current comes out of this and is distributed between the 4 cylinders. So that button was kind of worn on the used one. So I'm gonna put this new distributor cap on now. So the new distributor cap also comes with a rubber insulator. that goes around the whole cap, so I'm just using my utility knife here to ease the old one out. And when you lay that rubber gasket out, it's pretty obvious. It'll only really go in there one way, so I'll remove this one, and then I'll put this new one in place, and then I'll just reinstall the distributor cap, and it's 3 mounting screws. Okay, so we're back in business here. New distributor cap is on, everything seems to be working fine. Just a little note, when you're tightening your little bolts there onto the distributor cap, this is not a particularly hard plastic here, so just kind of torque them on a little bit. It's not a whole lot of pressure required to keep that on. Remember, there is that rubber gasket between the metal here, the steel, and that, so I tend to just kind of use it on there a little bit, and just kind of keep in mind I'd rather put a little too loose and then maybe just adjust it a little bit. There's not a whole lot of pressure that's required there. Anyway, that's the end of the replacing the distributor cap video. Thanks for watching.